What's good, YouTube? So recently I've dived into the hellhole that is collecting manga and just want to, describe my experience so far with it. For the longest time, I had like a lingering thought that I wanted to start collecting them and, display them in a cool way, but I just never acted upon it until now. Since I was new to the game, I was kind of going crazy with it, buying whatever I found cool and interesting. Like, shit, I could feel the dent it was causing my wallet. I had to take a step back and reevaluate how to approach this newfound way of wasting money, to be honest. After watching a couple of videos on collecting manga on YouTube, I found out about the rule of 3, where you only buy the first 3 volumes if you find a story interesting. By doing this, you don't have to go crazy and drop a lot of bank for a manga you might not even enjoy when you sit down to actually read it. Instead of 3 volumes though, I limited myself to 1 volume. For example, one time I was in downtown Toronto, I went to a shop called Anime Extreme, which by the name carries a lot of like anime related products. I picked up a manga called The Frog in the Well Does Not Know the Ocean, or the Japanese name you can call it Yoshi no Zuikara, but just volume 1 of it. Just for some background, the story is about a mangaka struggling to create his next big hit after his fantasy manga got cancelled. The catch is, this time he's trying to create a slice of life story depicting his own childhood in a way. After getting around to actually reading it, I realized I really wasn't feeling it that much, so I decided I wouldn't be buying any more mangas from that series. And so far, I've been able to follow this rule of 1 volume at a time pretty consistently, which is pretty blessed. Another challenge that I found about collecting manga is that when a particular volume is sold out, like literally everywhere, in stores and online. More specifically, I'm talking about Blue Period Volume 2 in my case. If you tapped in with the current manga that are like blowing up, you probably heard of Blue Period before. For those who haven't heard about it yet, Blue Period is about a high school student named Yataro who's academically excelling at school, but he hasn't really found his true calling in life yet. He's pretty much a delinquent to begin with until he finds his calling in the world of art. I picked up volume 1 on a whim and I actually really enjoyed it, so naturally I wanted to get the second volume. Indigo or chapter locations are my #1 place to buy manga, but in a twist of fate, I could never find the second volume of Blue Period at any location. Like, this shit has been sold out for like 3 months and a half now. I even knew that I would continue to collect the series, so I did end up copying volumes 4 and 5. I should probably get volume 3 at some point too as well, since it's available still. Anyways, enough complaining for now. One aspect of manga collecting that I really did enjoy is going to like physical locations like Indigo or Chapters locations and actual manga stores. Spending time going through the manga sections. Although I gotta admit, some are slacking heavily, to be honest. Like, when I'm in these stores and at the sections dedicated to the manga, like, time would go by hella quick. Like, what felt like 10 minutes would actually be 45 minutes in the store, like, for real. With these Indigo and Chapter locations, they're cool and all, but I really wanted to tap in and see if there are like any actual manga stores around my area. So I took a trip to downtown Toronto to check out some spots. So I dedicated a whole day to exploring these manga spots in downtown. Going to the store, each one had their own vibes and like quirks. I gotta say though, there are some things that I don't like about going to these stores. First off, due to Omarion, there's a limit of how many people were allowed to go into the store, which makes sense. But it's just like they gave us such a like little time limit on how much time to spend in there. Like, shit felt like a mission. I was trying to take my time and see what manga they offered, but these mans were not having it. After you like pass the time limit, they want you out of there ASAP Rocky. Just the feeling of being restricted by a timer overall takes away from the experience of going to a store and enjoying buying manga. At another store, the owner not only gave us the time limit, but also kept asking us if we were planning to buy something, like, frequently. In mine, I'm just like, bro, chill, let me just do me and let me look at the stuff you got. I know about the time limit. That's cool. But mans kept pressing me. I did end up buying manga from that store, but goddamn, there has to be a more pleasant way of dealing with customers. I won't say the names of these first 2 stores because, like, screw it. I don't want to attract negative publicity to them, and also no free clout. I will say the name of the final store I hit up. It was called Silver Snail, and it was a really good experience, like, for real. The employees were chill, no time limit, just letting me do me and look at the manga they had to offer. But yeah, that was my first trip outside visiting physical manga stores, and I enjoyed it, to be honest, even though some stores had some BS going on with them. At the end of the day, it's just nice going out and staring at shelves filled to the brim with manga for a long ass period of time. Going to these physical stores just hits different compared to buying online, if I'm being honest. These are the manga that I ended up picking up from that day. But yeah, I hope this video can help potentially give some insight to people who are beginning to, or at least have had the thought pass of collecting manga. As always, I appreciate y'all for checking out the video and rocking with me. Let me know about y'all experience collecting manga in the comments as well. Maybe you shared some similarities with mine so far. I'm Kid Liddy and I'm out of here. Peace.